We got it.
What's going on? What's up, everyone?
All that matters is that you try to. Be guided by that universal light inside you. Learning to embrace all.
This is one of my favorite topics to talk about.
Acting with love and kindness to both friends, foes, and rivals.
So I'm gonna breathe my way into it.
Life is a beautiful mess. A beautiful mess. Yeah. Life is a beautiful mess. A beautiful mess.
Good to have you guys on, everyone. Good to have you guys on.
I'm crying, I feel like I'm down. I'm doing my best. Yeah. Life is a beautiful mess.
Life is a beautiful mess.
A beautiful mess. Yes.
Life is a beautiful mess.
A beautiful mess. Yes. Life is a beautiful mess.
All right.
A beautiful mess. I'm crying, I'm trying, I feel like I'm down.
We are in the month of March, everyone. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. Rebirth, renew, recalibrate, recover, rest. A lot of things are blossoming right now. I'm blossoming. Lots of people are blossoming all across the world, living in their new version, shedding their old selves, shedding old belief systems, shedding old habits, patterns, behaviors, choices and decisions, addictions, becoming more loving, becoming that divine butterfly that we're all capable of being, infinitely, expressingly, authentically. So welcome, everyone. If this is your first time on a video, my name is Jason Mangan. I'm a traveling caregiver. I've been a traveling caregiver now for 3 years. I take care of the elderly, disability, and really enjoy my job. Really enjoy my profession. I'm also a celestial soul coach. I own my own donation-based healing services. I've been doing this now for about 12 years. I specialize in physical detoxification and nutritional replenishment. I also specialize in emotional detoxification, which is actually the root cause of why anyone has any type of pain or suffering. Any type of pain or suffering you're going through. It's the root cause of their pain and suffering. It's actually when an individual is emotionally suppressing, denying, and avoiding their emotional injuries, their emotional traumas, which is actually linked up to an individual emotionally suppressing their pure passions, joys, and pleasures in life, their pure happiness in life. So it's all linked up together. It's all holistic. It all works together. Welcome, everyone. This is going to be a fun topic. The sacred sexual soul unionship. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because this is a major emotional injury or emotional wound or emotional trauma throughout the world. And I was one of them. I used to live in massive sexual injuries, sexual wounds that was established in my childhood. I was bombarded with these sexual wounds. I was bombarded with these emotional injuries, these emotional traumas from mommy and daddy, our physical parents, our caregivers, our family generational bloodline, and this unloving environment that we were born into. And it establishes, these emotional wounds that we attract in our childhood. The moment we were conceived in our mother's womb, they establish every physical and emotional, every social, every economical, every sexual, every financial addiction. Every one of our addictions in these areas are established in our childhood. It establishes unloving belief systems, unloving spiritual belief systems, unloving religious belief systems, unloving assumptions and opinions, unloving behaviors, unloving thinking patterns, an unloving heart center, unloving emotions and feelings. And when an individual is suppressing their emotions, it causes every physical sickness, disease, and illness in our life. See, who we really are as a soul. See, we have a physical body entertaining physical reality. We also have a spiritual body that entertains the spiritual realities, the spiritual realms. But who we really are is a soul in our own unique personality, in our own unique memories, in our own unique passions and joys and pleasures, in our own unique lights, colors, and sound, in our own unique structured geometric shape within our soul. So our soul is very, very powerful. And we create, manifest, and materialize and attract everything, every event, every situation, every circumstance, every relationship, every friendship, everything in every moment of our life. Now, it's a little different when we're children, especially the ages between the moment you were conceived in your mother's womb to around 8 or 9 years old. When a child gets sick, when a child gets injured, when a child is getting fussy, they are reflecting that law of attraction from the parents. So the parents are actually establishing the child's free will until the child establishes more of individual independence, more individual responsibility, ownership, and accountability to make their own choices and decisions, whether it's loving or whether it's unloving, whether it's truthful or untruthful, around the age of 8 years old. And then they establish their own law of attraction, their own law of compensation, their own law of creation. And then they start creating their own free will. But so back to what I was saying. You say we are a soul with a mind-body complex. We are a soul. Who we really are is the soul. That is absolutely true. Who we are is really the soul. We are infinite, unlimited, limitless of the spectrum of lights, colors, and sound, of geometric shapes within the soul, in our own unique personality. You are limitless. And what blocks us from feeling this euphoric confidence and self-worth and self-love is these emotional, frozen, stuck blocks. People call it the shadow. People call it the dark area. People call it emotional injuries. Religions call it sin. But these emotional blocks are blocking your limitless potential. Becca says, my daughter is beginning the experiencing of the separation from my aura now at the age of 9. And that's phenomenal. That's really phenomenal. See, I'm a father. I have 2 sons. I have a son that's 9 years old, and I have a son that's going to be 7 here in May. And my sons attracted all of my emotional injuries from myself and from their mother, from my family generational bloodline, and from this unloving environment that they are being raised in. The unloving governments, the unloving corporations, the unloving banking institutions, the unloving school systems, the unloving media, the unloving religions. There's just so many unloving groups and organizations that control the free flow of information and communication to the world. And these are very, very unloving belief systems. It comes from passive-aggressive manipulation, passive-aggressive brainwashing techniques. And my sons are involved with it. Now, my sons are living more of a loving, more healthier lifestyle because as their father, I'm working on myself and allowing myself to fully feel all of the harm and damage, all of the control, all of the lies, all of the abuse that was caused in my life. And then it gives my sons an opportunity to free themselves up to make more emotional, conscious decisions and choices to heal themselves with God, to do the work for themselves with God. Now, the reason why I am talking like this, it is free, it is liberation. This is true sovereignty, this is true freedom, this is true liberation. It's not what physical laws give to you, it's not what governments give to you, it's not what corporations and monopolies give to you, or what they say they give to you, or what they don't give to you. No one can steal my mind, heart, body, and soul. No one can steal my spirit, because how much I've freed myself. How much I freed myself from sin, which in Greek terms, everyone, sin basically just means you're living out of harmony of Prime Creator's love and truth. That's what sin means. You're missing the mark. You're living in error of the Creator's love and truth. Now, the reason why I'm establishing the conversation and building the foundation before we talk about sacred sexual soul unionship is because this is the foundation of actually creating your soulmate, which is the other half of your soul. Or if you're not creating your soulmate, you're in a loving, and you want a loving relationship, you want a loving, truthful, humble, playful, silly relationship that experiences all things and explores all things physically, mentally, psychologically, sexually, socially, economically, spiritual, at the soul level. You might not be with your soulmate, but that's okay. If you potentially want a loving, sacred, divine soul relationship that is deeply sexual in your experimentation, that's fine. You can create that. You can manifest it. You can materialize it. And this is how you do it. How you create and manifest effectiveness and easiness and efficiency is by allowing yourself to let go and surrender to all of your emotions. Because emotions, everyone, is the true language of everything. It's the true communication of everything. It's energy in motion. Emotions is energy stagnant, energy degrading, energy upgrading, whether you're doing this with love or without love, whether you're doing this with God or without God. We all have conscious choices and decisions. We all have free will to experiment, to explore in our own scientific, spiritual measurements, because we can measure things emotionally, which is intuitively. We can measure things by the way we feel. Nikki, good to have you on. I'm listening too. I see you. Becca, thank you so much for the beautiful rose. Now, look, everyone, we have the opportunity to live in paradise. It doesn't matter what's happening around us. It does not matter. What matters is emotional integrity and emotional honesty and emotional humbleness. Humility is a key secret ingredient to healing, to becoming divine, to becoming celestial, to becoming angelic. Humility to change belief systems is true transformation. Because if we're not consistently changing, if we're not consistently challenging our belief systems, if we're not consistently challenging our emotions, our triggers, our reactions, our responses, our interactions, our communication, if we're not consistently challenging me, you, your gurus, your spiritual teachers, your religious teachers, if we're not consistently challenging authority figures on a daily basis to find absolute truth, to figure out what love really means, we will be a gullible slave, a follower following the herd, just like the majority of people on this earth do. They will follow the herd and they will be lost and confused and distracted, creating massive pain physically, mentally, and emotionally. They will create massive pain in all areas, aspects of their life because they are using their free will and choosing to avoid their pain. And when you avoid your pain, you are avoiding your pure passions. You're avoiding actually creating the job that you really want, the business that you really want, the partner that you really want, the friendships that you really want, the freedom that you really want. You are avoiding your pure hobbies, your pure joys, the poetry, the music, the painting, the artistry, the writing. You're avoiding who you really are when you're avoiding your emotions, because emotions is the true language to living in the highest divine laws that operate and function within these divine mechanics within our multidimensional universe. The majority of people, they utilize and live on the lowest laws of existence. So I'll give you an example. Most people, when they get sick, or even if they don't get sick, they're focusing on the physical body of nutrition. Now, this is not wrong. If you want to get healthy, you want to focus on nutrition. You want to focus on what you're eating. If someone has cancer or a disease or an illness of any kind, most people will focus on, do I need to get pharmaceutical medication? Do I need to go to a doctor? Okay, and they focus on the lower physical laws of how this multidimensional universe operates. So they just focus on, I need to become a vegan. I need a fast. I need a juice fast. I need a dry fast. Maybe I need to partake in urine therapy. Maybe I need to do a plant medicine ceremony. So they just focus on the physical level. Now, another level that's above the physical level is called the spiritual level. Now, once people start becoming more seekers of truth and they start wanting to heal at a deeper level, maybe they focus on quantum physics, metaphysics. So they start focusing on how energy works, how vibrations work, how frequencies work. And so they get into sound healing, or maybe meditation, or maybe yoga, or maybe breath work, or maybe they get into Tai Chi or acupuncture or massage work. And they start doing all kinds of energy work with Reiki healers, or, energy practitioners, or, hypnosis of some kind. And they're working around energy or quantum physics, because the truth is that there is a physical law, and then there are spiritual laws that oversee the physical laws. But the highest laws of this universe is the laws that are working with divine love, and that's all emotional. It's all emotions. So when I say you're sick, when someone is physically sick, it shows me right away that they're avoiding an emotion. If someone, pulled their back, or if someone got in a car accident, it is showing me that they're avoiding an emotion. Whether it's on the feminine side, the mommy side, or whether it's on the masculine side, the daddy side, we are avoiding emotions. And we were taught this as a child. Self-love is the most powerful healing energy. Yes, in order for someone to grow in self-love, they have to feel their emotions around how unloving they've been to themselves. They actually have to be emotionally honest with themselves and fully feel how they actually do not really truly love themselves. Because if they truly love themselves, they wouldn't be poisoning themselves with cigarettes, alcohol. They wouldn't be poisoning themselves with poisonous foods, poisonous drinks, poisonous skincare products. They wouldn't be poisoning themselves with toxic relationships, toxic jobs. But we were taught as children to sacrifice ourselves for mommy and daddy's approval. And so as we grew up, we were taught to sacrifice ourselves for teachers' approvals, friends, coworkers, coaches, pastors. We were taught to sacrifice ourselves for approval, for love, for intimacy, for affection, for recognition, for status, for fame and popularity. And this causes massive, massive pain and suffering because we lack self-love. We lack self-worth. We lack self-respect, self-support. So instead of feeling safe and protected and secure in our own validation, what we do is we run to people for safety. Women, we run to men for safety and for protection because we want to feel protected. We want to feel safe. We want to feel secure emotionally, financially, spiritually, sexually. We want to feel safe. Men, we do the same thing with women because we lack self-love. We don't own it and embrace it ourselves. So we do this to other people. And you'll never create a sacred sexual soul unionship with a partner if you're always trying to run to the partner to be saved by them, to feel secure by them, to feel protected by them. Because if you're not creating this in your own essence, in your own presence, in your own space, you will live in addiction. Running to partnerships and friendships and co-workers, you will be running to all kinds of retreats and communities, plant medicine ceremonies and religions and spiritual organizations. You'll run to women's groups and men's groups, and you'll be addicted to being saved, to feeling secure and safe and protected, to feeling recognized and loved and liked and approved by people, because that's an addiction that has not been broken. Because you can't hold space being physically alone while validating yourself in your own self-respect, in your own self-love, in your own self-worth. And this causes all of our sicknesses, diseases, and illnesses. I'll give you an example. For the last 20 years, everyone, I don't go to doctors. I don't go to energy healers. Okay, I don't go to gurus. When I'm sick, if I get in an accident, I focus on myself. I created it. And I just ask myself, well, I'm avoiding something. What am I avoiding? Now, this is the secret to my well-being and my health and my vitality and my radiance in my life. This is the secret. The secret is that everyone has to come to figure out that there is a divine counselor. You got to figure it out. You got to find it out in your own way. I found this out 12 years ago. So once I found out that there's a divine counselor that has feminine and masculine qualities and attributes, that there's a divine oversoul entity that we can emotionally communicate with about everything, it's a lot easier to process our emotions when you're getting support and assistance, not just from this divine source entity that is our true parent, but also these celestial guides, these divine soul brothers and sisters of ours that have a lot more love and a lot more truth than you and I. And so you can get assistance and support and help when you're physically in pain, or when you're mentally or psychologically in pain, or when you're financially in pain. So there was an incident about 4 years ago where I pulled my back. I was lifting something up at work, and I literally pulled my back. And I couldn't walk. I created that situation. I created that moment. My soul, which is who I am, created that moment. Now, I didn't run to a doctor. I didn't get on pain medication. I didn't run to a chiropractor. I didn't go and run to a masseuse. I was out for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Couldn't work. Was crawling on the floor, to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to grab my food, to grab my water. And for 2 weeks, I was out. Now, for those 2 weeks, I was in direct, emotional, constant connection with my physical body, with my emotions, with my spiritual body and my soul, and I was connecting to God. Now, those 2 weeks, I just humbled myself in prayer. I humbled myself in prayer, asking for assistance and support. I had to be honest with myself. The reason why I created this accident, the reason why I created this physical pain in my back is because I was avoiding an emotion that I did not want to feel because I was afraid to feel it. And once I started recognizing what these emotions were, I started feeling through the lack of self-worth, the lack of self-love. I started feeling these insecurities and these fears. I started feeling angry. I started feeling controlled, started feeling all of the abuse. And I allowed myself to feel these emotions without hurting myself, without hurting others, or without hurting my environment. And I allowed myself to be in my own retreat. I was in my own retreat in my bedroom, fully feeling through these emotions. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because if we want a sacred, divine, sexual soul unionship with a partner, what we're learning how to do by ourselves, we will learn to do while being incredibly raw and vulnerable with a partner. You will do it with a partner. You will go into these deep, meditative, emotional dialogues in sexual connection. And it won't all be focused on stimulating the genitalia area or having physical orgasms. But you will be in a place of soul gazing, eye to eye with each other, forehead to forehead, heart to heart. The synchronization of energy and emotions will be flowing in and out of you while you're creating a sacred portal, a healing portal, a portal that is a vortex of upgrading yourself to materialize into a new version. But instead of you doing it by yourself, you're doing it with a partner. And you're speaking out loud all of these emotions that are coming up. Childhood memories, teenage memories, college memories, young adult memories, memories within, of all kinds. And we're speaking up out loud while being while being naked, physically and spiritually and emotionally at the soul level, having this deep internal dialogue with our partner. Whether he or she is our soulmate or not, this is how we establish sacred unionship. Sacred unionship is all about being incredibly real and raw and vulnerable with every topic and every subject on every discussion. And this is how we can play and become more silly. This is how we can explore not just the physical body in every crevice, but we can explore the mind and the heart within every crevice. We can explore the energies within every crevice. We can explore the meditative state, which is a tantra state. We can sing together. We can cry together. We can laugh together. We can joke around together. We can literally light incense and candles. We can play music together. We can massage each other, not just on a physical level, everyone. We can massage each other in the flow of emotional dialogue, of energetic dialogue. We can create new lights and new colors and new sounds through our chakra points, not just on the physical level, but the spiritual chakra points and the soul chakra points. And when we reach this emotional level at the soul chakra point, these chakra points will retain and gain new gifts, new information, new communication, new data. We will be downloaded not just by ourselves, we will be downloaded together in harmony, in sexual connection, in sexual unionship. So this orgasmic feeling that we have will not just be established and attained in the body, but it will be, this orgasmic feeling will be seen in visuals. It will be felt emotionally. It will be felt while your heart is exploding with each other, creating this vortex, this portal. And you'll protect yourself from any unloving entities. You can call them demons. Because you're creating this portal of prayer and you're doing it with God. You're creating this sexual, sacred, soul unionship vortex and this emotional, humbled prayer with God. And this space is creating your own universe with your partner. You can literally create and materialize from this space. It's quite remarkable, the infinite possibilities and the infinite options and the infinite opportunities when we are receiving a love outside of us that comes from this divine oversoul parent of ours. When her children come together in purity, in purification, in correction, in repentance, and in forgiveness, in their own humility, while two come together expressing their rawness and their vulnerability in all of their pain and trauma, in all of their pleasures and passions and joys and happiness in a sexual intercourse that is established on all levels when you're playing at the highest divine laws that operate and function throughout this universe, throughout this multi-dimensional universe. Just imagine the conversations you will have with your partner when it's just not about fucking, when it's just not about physically getting off. Because that type of sex is quite lame. And it's boring. It's unattractive to me. Can never do it again. I will never, ever have that type of sex again with no one.
There is nothing more beautiful than spiritual union. Two souls that come together.
Spiritual union, two souls coming together,
Of time and space.
elevating the mind, elevating the heart, elevating your life.
Love is the joy that leads
And then you bring that energy, you bring that passion, and you share it to the world. And the power becomes so much more stronger. It's divinity. It's divine. It's celestial. It's angelic. It's uplifting. And you guys can walk into a room and not say a word. And our soul brothers and sisters of ours will be motivated and inspired to talk to you. They will be motivated, inspired to feel your light. How do you nourish yourself, Jason? How do you look so good? How do you feel so good? How do you feel so happy? They'll be motivated to come to you. They'll be attracted to the colors of your spectrum, to your light, because that's how it works. It's simple, it's simplified, it's easy, it's effective, it's efficient. Because now you're doing it with God, and you're doing it with purity. You're doing it with high integrity, doing it with truthfulness and honesty, and you're growing in love, because that's what it is. It's a game of love, everyone. It's a game of love, and you're the main actor. You're the main actress. It's growing in love, and you can do this with God or without God. If you do it without God, you stagnate or you degrade. That's basically what it comes down to. If you do it with God, you will continually grow in love, attaining new gifts in your mediumship abilities, in your psychic abilities, in your channeling abilities, in your healing abilities, in your communication skills, teleportation, telekinesis, levitation, remote viewing. I can go on and on when you're doing it with God. You literally have the opportunity to create your own universe with your soulmate, creating your own creeks and rivers and oceans, and creating your own trees and flowers and atmosphere, creating your own animals and insects, creating your own worlds when you're infinitely growing and receiving God's love and truth to transform you into a new entity, into a new being, into a new creature. Creating new lights and new colors and new sounds and new frequencies that establish the ability to materialize everything that you want in the spiritual world and in the physical world with your soulmate, with your loved ones that cherish hanging out with you and appreciate your personality, and they love being around you. And you're living in complete peace and abundance, pure joy. You're attaining these gifts in music as a musician, understanding all languages, art, understanding the mechanics of science, spiritual science, engineer and architecture, mathematics, economics, and you're understanding how things really operate and function when you're working with the highest divine laws of this universe. And that's the law, these loving laws, these higher divine laws with God. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the video. If you enjoyed the video, please share it with your family and friends, groups, social media sites. I appreciate you so much. If you guys want assistance or support in any way, as you know, I've been a nutritional specialist for 20 years now. I specialize in nutrition, detoxification, and fasting. I've been doing this for 20 years. Specialize in emotional detoxification, spiritual and soul detoxification. As you all know, I own my own celestial coaching, divine services. It's all donation-based. I've been doing this for 12 years. I own my own raw, organic, plant-based Wholefoods company. I can teach you how to fast. I can teach you how to feel lighter, to feel cleaner. I can teach you, I can show you, but you must do the work. You must choose me, right? You must choose me to help you assist. I'm not your savior. I'm not your guru. I can't rescue you. I can't save your life, but I can open up the door and give you solutions so you can save yourself and heal yourself with God. I love you all so very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll all be seeing each other soon. Bye-bye now.